Hi, I'm Cayleigh from Cayleigh's Cards and I'm with you today for another video in my Back to School series. Today I've got a good luck card or even a thank you card. It's a basket full of apples with a really sweet saying in the middle. So to do this you need to take a piece of cardstock 3 inches by 6 inches and we're just going to go score at 3 inches, and this is our card base. Fold this in half, and you need to take a piece of cardstock 2 3/4 by 2 3/4 and one 2.5 by 2.5, and I'm just going to stick these on top of each other and then on my base. And to make the apples and the basket I use the Sprinkles of Life stamp set. Now this is one of my favourite stamp sets in the annual catalogue, and it's also for the Ronald McDonald charity. And you may not notice it because it is on, I think it's on the very back pages, but it comes with all these different stamps. And I think it's about £19, but I'll have to check. It's all these different phrases, trees, different toppers for the trees, and amazingly matching punch. And this is one of the things I love most about Stampin' Up, when they coordinate their products so we don't have to fussy cut. Although I'm going to fussy cut on this card today, but the less I have to fussy cut the better. So in this set I'm going to take this little basket here and a piece of scrap card and some crumb cake ink, and I'm just going to stamp this down onto my piece of scrap, and I'm going to stamp again onto the base of my card. And I'm going to fussy cut this out, but this is the last fussy cut we have to do, I promise. It's not really too difficult. And then what I'm going to do with this basket is take my ink, squeeze it in the middle and open it up, and I'm going to take my blender pen, just pick up some of this ink and add it to give my basket a little bit of dimension. And I'm just going to use the shading that Stampin' Up have done for me and just follow this a little bit. Like I say, it's just to give it a little bit more dimension. And then I'm going to take a dimensional and stick that basket down just to where it is on the card. Now I'm going to use the punch to punch out the apples, which is just this little shape here. And I've got a little trick. Rather than having to punch out everything every time, you just want to cut a strip down to about ½ inch, and you're going to take the card and slide it through the hole and then punch out your apple. Now you can do this for the bird, the raindrop and the flower. The tree and the cloud you can also do it for, but you obviously are going to need a thicker piece of card. A wider piece of card, sorry. So I need 7 apples. I've already punched out a few so you didn't have to watch me punch the entire time. So I'll just bring these here. And what I like to do is to take a marker pen and just colour in the stems of my apples. Just that gives it a little bit more colour. So this doesn't take very long at all, but it really just adds to the effect of the card. And I like to make sure I'm taking them from both sides so the stem is pointing both ways because it's got a bit of a curve. And then once I've done this, I just take the pen side of my marker and just make little notches, just so it has a little bit of dimension on the card. And then I take my dimensionals and the scraps around the corner. I just need to cut a few of these so that they're small enough to fit the apple on. And for the rest of them I use glue dots. I like to use a combination of glue dots and dimensionals so that there's some different dimension on the card. I'm just going to stick these down as if they're in a basket. As always, it's a really simple card to make, but it's effective. And you could make this one in bulk as well if you've got a lot of people to give them to. There we go. Stick that down. And in the other card I've got a sentiment in the middle that says, hope your day stacks up to be one good thing on top of the other. But for this card I'm going to put a sentiment on the top, which is why I put the basket a little bit lower down. So, nearly done. And what I like to do is take our new glue. This is the fine tip glue pen, and this is in the new Christmas catalogue, which is not yet released, but it's only about a week away, so I can show you this now. And just a little trick for you, if you hold the glue pen as such and hold the black quite tightly and twist the top, you can open it up correctly. If you look, we've got a little bit of a pin in the tip of the pen, which means the pen is always ready to go and you don't need to unclog it as long as you store it correctly. And I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on top of those lines I made, because although this is glue, it is also the same liquid as our crystal effects, which means it will set and look crystal, like a crystal effect. And then I just hold the ink again and take the pin, and slide that into the nib and screw it back on. And then it's always ready to use. And I'm just going to choose a sentiment. I'm going to go with I'm so lucky to call you my friend. Take it off. And I'm just going to do this in the brown that I used for the tips, which is chocolate chip. And I'm just going to stamp that down. Oh, I've not really coloured the friend in. So there we go. And that's, I should have stamped that first, but I don't. And that's all there is to this card. I've done it here in Cherry Cobbler and here in Real Red. I think I prefer the Real Red now. I think that brightness just really makes it pop. Don't forget to share your back to school creations on Crafting with Cayleigh Facebook page. And thank you so much for watching. Happy crafting!